Hello, funeral directors. My name is Tyler Fraser. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me on this funeral radio episode. I'm here today with Mike Burwell of American Crematory Equipment. Thanks so much for joining me, Mike.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, your company manufactures retorts, is that correct?
That is correct. Not only do we manufacture, but we service, repair, and sell parts and supplies as well. So that's our lane. Some of our competitors are more broader spectrum. They cover everything from cemetery supplies, bronze caskets, stuff like that. We have a very specific lane. It's manufacturing high quality equipment, providing the best service and repair in the industry, high quality products in our equipment and our repair, and parts and supplies.
You know, in the funeral profession, there's really nothing more important than quality. When dealing with taking care of a loved one, making sure the machine's operating correctly, and producing the results that families expect. So where did your company start and where is it today?
We started in the 60s. My father-in-law started with a company called All Industrial Furnace. And then in the 70s, he left All Industrial Furnace after engineering their 1701s and that model retort, and opened American Crematory, incorporated in 74, and basically manufactured, service, and repaired on a small level, just a few man shop, very small, 1,800 square feet. When I joined the business in 1992, married into it, he just gave me an opportunity. I was always an entrepreneur. I always owned and operated businesses since I was 18 years old. And he gave me an opportunity. I saw that this industry was much broader than his business, and he was happy with his business. I mean, I loved it about him. So what we did was he gave me the opportunity to learn the business, and I fell in love with it. I love to work with my hands. I've always been a builder of sorts, whether it's a business or a project or a car or whatever it is. And just kind of fell in love with that aspect of it. And we built the business slowly but surely. I've been doing this for now 30 years. We went from 1,800 square feet to now 25,000 square feet manufacturing facility. We were producing 1 to 2 machines a year back then, primarily doing service and repair. And now we do about 50 machines a year and a lot more service and repair. So we've grown the company exponentially over the years. My father-in-law is currently retired. I retired him about 15 years ago. And he lives the life of a retired person. He loves it.
Where's your company located?
We're located in Santa Fe Springs, California, but we've also got satellite offices in Florida, Texas, and Ohio.
And so, I mean, retorts are a complicated machine. There's just so much going on in there. And so this is, what exactly are you manufacturing the parts and sourcing other parts? Because I imagine the computer, you need to program that. Where you're doing also manufacturing as well, right?
Correct. We do ground up. Everything's in-house. We have UL 508, 509 panel shop. We build all of our own controls. We used to outsource that product, but I decided to bring that all in-house because I wasn't comfortable with the quality that we were getting. And I'm a big quality guy. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the equipment, how it operates, the components that we use, and the quality that we put into it. Everything from the steel quality all the way up to refractory, electronics, butterfly valves, mod motors, everything has to be top-notch for us. So we are definitely quality-driven.
You're producing this high-quality cremator. How important is it to have good staff, good operator to operate the machine?
Oh, it is one of the key components. So when we sell a piece of equipment, we go in and we provide the training, setup and startup and all of that stuff, and we train the funeral home staff. We usually let them know that there's probably about a 90-day window that we're going to be receiving calls frequently while that operator gets used to the equipment. Whether they've operated equipment in the past or not, our machines are just a little bit different, the way they operate, the way that we can control our combustion process. And so we'll have a window where we expect that frequent call. And one of the ways I've streamlined that process is by introducing our instant access platform. And that basically, I worked with Siemens for years on this, and it's a one-touch, and I'm into your system. So that way I can help your operators much quicker. We're not kind of shooting in the dark. Look here, look there, do this, do that. And we're instantly online with the machine. Now, the operators at the funeral homes are very important to the process, because once they get trained, they know our language. They know what to look for. They become very familiar with the piece of equipment, and it becomes their baby in respect, and they really take ownership in that. A lot of good operators take ownership and pride in that piece of equipment. And for funeral homes, I tell funeral home owners and operators all the time, a good operator is worth its weight in gold, because once they get to know that machine, they're that key person, that go-to person that knows the machine. Every machine is individual. Every machine operates a little differently, even though the concept and theory is all the same. You've got one machine from a manufacturer that operates differently from my equipment or us at American, and they really get to know that piece of equipment in depth. So they relate from what they had to what they have now, or on a new piece of equipment, they know that piece of equipment and are able to really hone in on the operation of it and take pride in it. So I always tell the funeral home directors and owners that, if you got a good operator, you keep them on staff and take care of them. They're very important to your success.
So one of the really points of value that a funeral home will bring to a funeral is that the cremator is in their facility, or they own the cremator. How important is that, do you think? And kind of what's your sales like in regard to a third-party provider versus a funeral home?
It used to be kind of 50-50. Now a lot of funeral home directors and owners are bringing that in-house. The families prefer to have that service right there on site or very close in proximity to the funeral home, and know that their loved one is getting taken care of by that funeral home, because that's who they trust. When it goes off-site to a trade service or a third party, which is still, a great service to offer, we've just seen the kind of shift to funeral home directors, owners and directors bringing that machine in-house on property to their location. Just benefits the families a lot better to know that their loved one is getting taken care of right there by the staff that they entrusted.
How do you feel about aquamation, and do you expect to enter that market anytime soon?
No, we don't expect to enter that market. We work with a company called BioResponse. Joe Wilson builds a fabulous product, and we kind of network with him. That's his field. I think it's been slow going. I don't think traditional flame-based cremation will ever go away. There is a desire for that type of product. It's coming on. I think it's a little bit more popular in the pet world than the human world right now. A lot of states aren't allowing the process just yet. It's slow coming online. So
I recently had a funeral director say to me, "Tyler, we have a problem. We need a 300 cubic inch cremation urn because we're doing more aquamations and we don't have an urn that fits it."
Exactly.
Well, what's your most popular model and the ballpark cost?
Our most popular model right now is the A250, which is all of our machines are built on capacity. So it is a 600-pound capacity machine. It's got a wide, long primary chamber. Its cremation times are about 100 minutes, so it's a very nice piece of equipment. It's not a very large footprint, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. and it does a really good job. So we're seeing a lot of clients purchase that piece of equipment. In the last, I launched it about 3 years ago.
What's the standard operating temperature of that machine?
They run at about 1800 degrees on average. They can spike up to about 2100 degrees. But with our O2 control, we control all of that temperature and regulate it so it averages right around 1750 degrees. That's a nice temperature to operate at and keep the machine at. That way you don't have a lot of thermal shock to the refractory, which does damage over time.
What's the approximate cost of it, and what kind of financing options do you have?
The approximate cost is right around $100,000 for that piece of equipment. And we work with two different companies, CMS Capital and Financial Corp, and they do a great job. They can finance startups, or Financial Corp can finance startups, which is a good thing in our industry because cremation is growing like crazy lately. So we've got a lot of new clients that are looking to purchase equipment or startups. Those will be the third party trade services businesses that want to get in and do for funeral homes that don't have their own crematory. But they do a great job. We don't do in-house financing as of yet, but we work with a couple high quality companies as well.
So what's in the future for American crematory equipment?
Well, we're working on a few things. One is proprietary. It's going to be a zero emissions flame-based machine. So we're working on that right now. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we launched our instant access platform, which was a huge success. Unlike our competition, we don't charge anything for that. We never have, we never will. You buy from us, you get us, and that's part of our service to you. Is being there for you, basically 24/7. Service is everything is our trademark. And I firmly teach and train all of my staff to really pursue that philosophy in the field. So when they're servicing our clients, they're empowered to go above and beyond for them. They don't have to go to upper management. They don't have to come to me and say, can I do this? Can I do that? If it's in the best interest of the client, we're doing it.
I love it. That's great. Well, Mike, thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, Tyler, thanks for having me.
Funeral directors, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you got some useful information about how to better operate your retort, your cremator. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tyler Fraser. Until next time.